draw the cat in the hat, I'm going to start a little bit below halfway down my paper, pretty close to the halfway mark, and I want to make a horizontal line, just a real little one. I want it to be about the width of my hand, maybe even a little bit wider. So if I think about how wide maybe 4 fingers across are, and I'm going to make that line go about 4 fingers, maybe a little bit farther. I'm going to add another line that's parallel to that one with my Sharpie. Now you can use pencil too. I'm just using Sharpie to make sure that you can see it well enough. And then about 2 fingers, maybe even 3 fingers wide, I'm going to work on the top part of the hat. So I'm going to make a little mark right outside of my 3 fingers for the top part of the hat to go up. And it's going to connect almost to the top of my paper with a line that's slightly curved. For the other side, I'm going to start on the bottom, and I'm going to make a line that goes in a little bit, out a little bit, and it's not quite so high as my first one. Then it's going to bounce out to the side on the right, and then curve across to the middle of the top, and then connect to my other side. You can see there's a little bit of a dent in the middle on the top. I'm going to add some stripes that go across the hat, and you can see my stripes have a slight curve in them as well to make the hat look like it's round and not just flat as a pancake. I'm trying to kind of branch my stripes out a little bit so that they're not too close together. And then I'm adding a couple of fun little zigzag lines in the middle just to give some interest to the hat. Those are optional. Now that we've got the hat, we need a cat. So I'm going to start by making some ears, and the ears kind of go up into the hat just a little bit. So I'm going to make a curved line that runs right into the side of the hat, and then I'm going to bring it back down to make an ear. It almost looks like the leaf of a plant, actually. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, a curved line that runs into the hat and then comes down to make an ear. Then I'm going to finish that top line of the hat to kind of run into the ears as well. Now I need to make the face, and it's going to kind of curve down and then connect to a neck. So I want to maybe go a little bit farther down than my hand. I'll make a little dot and another dot to show where the neck is going to start. And now I can connect the ears down to those dots by adding a little bit of fur first with some zigzag lines, and then a curved line for the chin. So zigzag, zigzag, zigzag for some fur, and then curve down to where the neck will be. For the neck, I'm going to add a couple little curves too. A couple little zigzags to show that the neck has some fur too. Now the nose of the cat is not right in the middle. It's actually a little bit higher. So I'm going to go higher than the center of the face. And I'm just going to make a little oval, kind of looks like a jelly bean, for the nose. And then on either side of the nose, I'm going to make 2 ovals for the eyes. So one there and one on the other side. I'm going to put a U shape in the center of the eyes so that leaves kind of a little highlight on the top part of each eye. Now the mouth is lower, so I'm going to start with a nice smile that goes down and around, and then has kind of a little S curve on either side of the mouth. Now I decided too that I wanted to go ahead and add a bow or a bow tie, because the Cat in the Hat is always seen wearing a bow tie. So I'm going to start with a small little shape for the center of the tie. It's kind of an oval-y type shape. Then I'm going to go up on one side, up on the other side, come back in, down and around, back in, down and around. I'm adding a couple lines to the center of the bow tie to make it look like it's somewhat folded. I'm going to throw in some cat whiskers on either side. They angle down just a little bit. I'm also going to do the insides of the ears by making a line and then adding some hair. Line, add some fur. I'm going to add some eyebrows. And he actually has a couple little lines that show how his eyebrows go. He has a couple little lines on his face to kind of show where his mouth connects to his nose. A little line under his mouth to show where the bottom lip is. And then I'm going to add some lines all around the sides of his face. And these are just kind of ways that a cartoon artist can add shading to something by just using ink. So if I add these little lines, or like hash marks, it adds just a little bit of shading to the face. I'm just doing them nice and quickly, throwing in some little extra shaded lines in there. I'm also kind of throwing in where his head meets the hat. It should be a little bit darker under there. All right, looking pretty good. Now, of course, it's time to add some color to our picture. And the Cat in the Hat is famous for his red and white hat. So I am adding in some red, of course, to the stripes. Now, if you made your stripes the same thickness of mine, you would have 5 stripes. And if I start at the top, that means 3 of my stripes would be red and 2 of my stripes would be white. That would not include the part of the hat that's hanging out over his eyes. That would also be white. So I am coloring pretty hard with my colored pencil. Of course, you could use marker or crayon or even paint if you have that. I have this nice set of Arteza colored pencils that make nice rich color, especially when I push really hard when coloring with them. And I'm just trying to fill in all of the red parts of the hat. Do you have a favorite Dr. Seuss book? I know the Cat in the Hat gets into all kinds of trouble and makes all kinds of a mess for the 2 kids that he shows up. And I know Thing 1 and Thing 2 are also a lot of fun. There's so many different creatures that Dr. Seuss has made that are so fun to read about and to watch. I'm coloring the bow tie red now too, as you can see. Pretty simple color scheme here, black, white, and red. Although if you wanted to get crazy and make a rainbow hat or something else, you could probably do that as well. The only other thing I still have left to do after coloring is I did want to add a little bit of coloring on his nose too. So I will do that with my Sharpie again, and we'll call it a masterpiece. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like and subscribe below, and we hope to see you again soon.